That's an interesting reading, isn't it? There's a part of that reading that I have a little bit of a challenge with. And that's the bit where, to be honest, I almost feel like Jesus was a little bit rude when he basically talked to the woman and called her a dog, which kind of is not exactly how I think Jesus would normally behave. But I kind of got to thinking, and remember what we've been saying about how this was like a whistle-stop tour. He was non-stop. I can imagine the conversation just before that going on between Jesus and his disciples. And Jesus saying, right, it's time for us to go to Tyre. Now, if you have a moment to look at a map, by foot, we're talking a long way. We're talking dusty roads. We're talking blistered feet. We're talking, a real effort, a real sacrifice to travel this way. And I can just imagine some of the disciples talking to Jesus and saying, Jesus, do we really have to go, to Tyre? I mean, let's face it, you're a Jew, you're our Messiah, you're here for the Jews. Why are we going all this way to Tyre? Why? And Jesus saying to them, why don't you want to go to Tyre? And them saying, oh, but it's so long and it's going to be tiring. And, it's just, we've got lots of work to do here. Why are we going all the way to Greece? And Jesus saying, is that really the reason? And them saying, well, actually, you know what? We're different from them, aren't we? I mean, my parents always said, they were a little bit like dogs. They're different from us. They don't believe in our God. We don't like them. And Jesus said, okay, let's get going. Next stop, Tyre. So they get to Tyre, and these disciples are exhausted and tired, and they're there in this house, and they're trying to get away from all the people that are following them, and they're saying, I'm so tired, and they get this surprise visitor. And I can just imagine the door swinging open and a woman saying, is Jesus here? I want to see Jesus. Where is Jesus? And she's so upset. My little girl, she's terribly ill. She's out of her mind. It's all of a sudden she's become a different person. I want you to help her. And Jesus looked into her eyes and said, well, you know what? I only do nice things for nice people. And well, you're not Jewish. I need to feed God's children, and I can't throw their food to the dogs, can I? And then he gives a side look to his disciples to see what they think about what he's just said. And none of his disciples can look him in the eye because Jesus was basically saying their words back to him, and they were embarrassed. And she said, please, even the dogs get to eat the crumbs under the children's table. And Jesus looked again at the disciples and said, that's an awesome answer. Your child is totally well. And he had taught his disciples a lesson. I wonder, when I read this, how the woman must have felt to start with when Jesus called her or compared her to a dog. And then how she must have felt when Jesus helped her daughter anyway. I wonder how the disciples felt when Jesus kind of tricked them a little bit and made them think about the fact that we should love people that are even different from us. I wonder if you have ever felt afraid or worried about someone who is different, because maybe they looked different, they had a different ability, they spoke a different language. I wonder what this story can teach us about loving others who are different from us. Have a fantastic day, everyone. See you soon.